It's the mid-90s, 95 to 96 to be exact. Cash Money Records, riding off the backs of UNLV, a gangster rap group that consisted of Albert Thomas, a.k.a. Yella Boy, Reginald Manuel, a.k.a. Tech 9, and Yafet Jones, a.k.a. Lil Yah. Christopher Dorsey, a young teen at the time, would go by the name BG, a.k.a. Baby Gangster, a name that he took from a well-known street figure, Terrence Williams, a.k.a. Original Hot Boy Gangster. In the 80s, the coke, a.k.a. rock epidemic, would slam the city of New Orleans. Yafet and Tech 9 would attend Carter G. Woodson, located blocks away from the Magnolia Project. They would both be in the 7th grade. Hip-hop had taken off at the time. Both being in the band and having a love for music would be influenced by Yah's uncle to try their hands at rap. Tech, Yah, and Yah's little sister would form a rap group, the Sporty MCs, in which they would perform at local talent shows in the city. The Yah's sister would be 3 years old at the time. Tech and Yah would both be 12. The trio would win every talent show in the city. Tech and Yah would walk away from rap at the age of 14 due to a failed promise to be granted a record contract after winning WYLD's talent show, which is a local rap station in the city. The pair wouldn't start rapping again until the age of 18. Being inspired by the Everlasting Hitman, a local bounce artist at the time, Lil Yah and Tech would change their sound. A few notable names that were rapping at the time were Juvenile, DJ Jimmy, and Gregory D, who had all cut records. By 1992, Albert Thomas, aka Yella Boy, had teamed up with Tech and Yah, making a group we now know as UNLV, Underground Legends. Although well known in the streets at the time, Brian and Ronald Williams, aka Baby and Slim, had never crossed paths with Yah. Yafet had no idea who they were. UNLV would be pumping tapes on the streets when Baby would get his hands on one of the tapes, which features the group's first single, Another Bitch.
I'ma talk some more shit about another bitch.
A mutual friend of the producer of Another Bitch would make the connection between Baby, Slim, and UNLV. The men would meet. 3 weeks later, a 2-album deal contract would be signed. Kilo G, who had already signed to the label at the time, would be the first solo artist. UNLV would be the first group signed to CMR, Cash Money Records. UNLV will record their first album, Six and Barone, in the kitchen of Byron Thomas, a.k.a. Manny Fresh, that lived in the scatter sites on North Galvez in the 7th Ward at the time, and who would go on to be a super producer, creating the original Cash Money sound. The album will be recorded with one mic being passed around to each member of the group. Released in 1993 on Cash Money Records, Six and Barone would be an instant hood classic. The first single, Another Bitch, would not feature Yella. Yella would have a song, Eddie Borrow, which would be his first solo song with the label.
Sweating so hard, I need 3 or 4 towels. Check out my new dance that I call the Eddie Borrow.
UNLV will release Straight Out Together in 94 and Matt Melf Callio in 95, independently on the Cash Money imprint, both of which would be huge success. Not knowing the business side of the music industry, the group would not see what they rightfully earned from their bodies of work. Being satisfied with what was being given to them at the time, the group wouldn't gain knowledge of what they were actually owed until they would later bring Baby and Slim to court. The time frame is late 94, early 95. Michael Tyler, aka Mystical, who attended school with the group, would just be coming home from the military. Michael will pull up on the block to chop it up with Yah, informing Yah that he had started to take rapping seriously. Michael, who would later sign to Big Boy Records, would stage a diss against UNLV. Yella Boy of UNLV responds, Dragon from the River, will be a classic that is still played today.
I'm a dragon from the river, dump his body and chuck y'all, leaving a note around his neck, reading badass Yellow Boy.
Uptown for Life, the album that features Yella Response, will go on to sell 200,000 units independently. Yella, who was a live wire, will be vocal about the earnings that were owed to him. This would not sit well with Baby, as they will frequently get into it. UNLV was popping and everyone knew it. With Uptown for Life making the Billboard charts, the Cash Money sound will be heard across the entire southern region. The tensions between Yella and Baby would escalate as they would get into an actual fight. At the Uptown for Life video shoot, Yah, Tech, and Yella would show up late to the video shoot, which was uptown in front of the Church of Chicken on MLK in South Claiborne. Baby would allegedly go in on Yella about being late to the shoot. Ya, being the reason that they were late, would intervene. By this time, too many words had been passed. Baby and Slim canceled the video shoot. Not happy what was just had taken place, Ya would tell Baby to meet them in the hood. Not wanting to back down from the challenge, Baby would spin the bend and aggressively hop out of the whip, looking to see what was popping. Baby and Yella would run in a quick blender. It's rumored that Yella got the best of Baby as Tech would back Slim up from trying to catch licks on Yella. Slim would allegedly punch Tech in the mouth and Tech would drop him. After seeing his brother get dropped, Baby would help him into the whip and they would mash out. This wouldn't be the last of the beef between Baby and Yella. It's that time of the year. Royalty checks are being issued. With Tech and Ya at the time, Yella would not receive his check. It's alleged that Yella's 11-5 addiction was the reason for the decisions that he made. Heated that Baby wouldn't release his check to Ya and Tech, Yella would hit up Baby's house and whip. It wouldn't be much longer before Yella would be found shot in the head, dead, murdered in his Isuzu Trooper on one of the dope sets in New Orleans trenches. The streets of New Orleans were buzzing with rumors as to who pulled the trigger on Yella. It was alleged that a hitman for hire had taken out the badass Yella boy. This still remains a cold case to this day. There were no arrests made. There was no retaliation that took place in the death of badass Yella boy. The internet would be undefeated as rumors would circulate that Brian Baby Williams' song, What Happened to That Boy, was aimed at badass Yella boy. Lil Ya took to social media to shut down those rumors. Let's take a look at what Lil Ya had to say.
Yella boy, who is in the group, gets killed. And all these murders are unsolved. There was lots of rumors about who killed Yella boy. You know, we're not going to get into who said what, who did what, but, you know, obviously, you know, a lot of people are going to be looking at people you were beefing with. You're going to be looking at, you know, the label that you were beefing with. You're going to talk about everything else like that. But ultimately, we don't know. Well, there was a rumor that Birdman's song, What Happened to That Boy, was a reference to Yella boy's murder. Do you believe that?
I can't believe that shit, man. I can't believe that.
Did you talk to Birdman after all that happened?
Yeah, I talked to Birdman a few times after that happened.
That's the code of the streets. Live by, die by. It's a dirty world, but it still spins. At the end of the day, what happens in the streets stays in the streets. There still has been no evidence as to who may have taken the life of badass Yella boy. Rumors continue to circulate. Fingers continue to be pointed. But at the end of the day, no one has a clear-cut explanation as to who assassinated Yella. Was it his many beefs from the streets? Was it just a coincidence? Some sort of robbery? Was he beefing with someone on the dope set? Who knows? We definitely don't. Badass Yella boy will forever be a New Orleans street legend.